We've reached a new year, and with it comes new expectations and goals. In this video, I want to help you gain more control over your bad habits this new year. Be inspired to make those decisions and meet those goals you've always set for yourself. It's important to start by defining what a bad habit is. A bad habit is a consequence of all the actions you perform frequently until it becomes an automatic action, but it doesn't yield any positive results. And you watching this video means you intend to change your bad habits and achieve success in your personal or even professional development, isn't? Success holds a different meaning for everyone. For some, it's reaching financial heights like becoming a millionaire. Others measure success through achievements and awards, like sports people cherishing trophies, championships, or medals. Then, there are those for whom success is synonymous with personal wellness, health, or happiness. No matter how you define it, discover now 6 ways to change your bad habits in 2024. Most successful people follow these secret tips to achieve complete success. They're applicable across every dimension and definition of success. Number 1, identify your bad habits. I invite you to take a piece of paper and a pen and write them down. It's key to put them on paper to make them more noticeable. This helps your mind recognize them as bad habits. Only you know yourself, so take some time to think and recognize which habits are holding you back. After identifying your bad habits, the next step is to understand their triggers. For example, if you have the bad habit of always snoozing the alarm, your automatic response to the alarm's sound is to press the button and sleep for 5 or 10 more minutes. The triggers for social media addiction are instant gratification, and that it all starts with a small dose when you look at your phone as soon as you wake up. It's an automatic action. You take your phone and become hypnotized by the screen. This cycle often begins with just a notification, a small dose that increases over time. Identifying these triggers is crucial to understanding what activates these bad habits. A key point in changing your bad habits is to start your mornings with control. If you begin your day by taking charge of your early actions, it will positively impact the subsequent hours. Take control of your mornings to boost your entire life. When you discover your purpose in life, you realize that some actions are not aligned with that purpose. It's essential to start evaluating whether they deserve the time and energy you're investing in them. We often know what we should complain about: the hours spent on social media, the frustration we feel towards those around us, the late nights watching series, or the excessive time devoted to playing video games. Honestly, you're aware of many activities that prevent you from reaching your full potential, yet you find yourself continuing to engage in them. These actions are difficult to abandon because they provide instant pleasure, available at your whim without any effort, offering a momentary sense of satisfaction. However, this effect quickly fades, leaving you worse off than before. You've invested your most important resources, your time and energy, into actions that don't nourish your greater goals. I can say with total confidence that there is no greater gratification than taking control of your actions and achieving what you set out to do. 2. Interrupt those automatic processes. Once you know the triggers, you can stop the habits you want to replace. Adding obstacles makes it harder to give in to impulses. For instance, disconnect your phone from the internet at night. If you have a long, complicated password, your groggy morning brain will resist the effort to remember it, steering you away from social media and towards a more positive start to the day. Always devise ways to put obstacles in the path of actions that trigger a bad habit. 3. Eliminate procrastination. Struggling to stay focused and always pushing things off until the last minute? Sounds like you might be procrastinating. It happens to the best of us, often due to stress, feeling overwhelmed, or just trying to make things perfect. But don't worry. There are cool ways to kick this habit and get your groove back. First and most important, keep your phone out of reach if it's distracting you. Make a record of all the tasks you need to accomplish. Include short-term tasks you need to finish daily and weekly and long-term goals that may take months or years to accomplish. Seeing everything written down can help you plan out what needs to be done to meet your goals. Write this list on paper or on your phone. Do whatever's best for you. Kick off your day by planning things out and go for the big, scary task first. Trust me, mornings are your friend here, especially after a good breakfast. Get that tough one out of the way, and the rest of the day will feel like a breeze. Oh, and don't forget to put the must-do now stuff at the top of your list. 4. Replace the bad habit with another. Studies indicate that it's more effective to replace a bad behavior with a good one than to try to eliminate it outright. The new behavior acts as interference, disrupting the old habit's pattern. For instance, plan to read a few pages of a book each time you feel the urge to check your phone. By doing so, you'll be substituting a negative habit with a positive one. Many suggest introducing a positive habit as a replacement for a negative one. However, this process often fails without clear, actionable steps. Understanding the how-to is crucial for successful habit replacement. The goal is to weaken the power of these bad habits by gradually reducing the time invested in them and simultaneously engaging in the healthy habits you wish to develop. Understand that these negative behaviors can't be changed overnight. By identifying the bad habits and the time you dedicate to them, you can begin to incrementally decrease that time. Simultaneously, reallocate that time to a constructive activity. For instance, if you currently spend 5 hours on social media, aim to cut 30 minutes from that and invest those 30 minutes in reading, skill development, or another beneficial activity you want to cultivate as a habit. Here, you decide how much time to subtract from the negative habit. Over time, the goal is to dedicate only a minimal amount to activities like social media as you develop new, more engaging and productive habits. In my experience, I often failed to complete tasks, skipped reading because I aimed for an hour a day, and avoided exercise because I thought I needed over an hour for it to count. I believed that without enough time, my efforts were meaningless, leading me to seldom complete my task list. Setbacks and regressions are part of the journey. We must adapt to changes as they come. Often, I can't dedicate as much time as I'd like to all my activities, but I've learned that doesn't stop me from making meaningful progress. There are days when I can only read for 30 minutes instead of 2 hours, or dedicate 1 hour to a project instead of 4. In truth, when it comes to forming a habit, the exact amount of time spent is less crucial than the act of doing it every day. The key is consistency, even if it's just for 10 minutes daily. We often undervalue small daily improvements, pressuring ourselves for grand, significant progress. Yet, if you commit to reading just 5 pages a day, that adds up to 1,825 pages in a year, the equivalent of about 5 average-sized books. When we reflect on the past 2, 5, or even 10 years, we're often amazed by how significantly good habits have benefited us and how much bad habits have cost us. With this realization, I urge you to shift your limiting thoughts and beliefs. Stop saying you don't have enough time. Even dedicating just 20 minutes to a meaningful activity or engaging in 30 minutes of physical exercise can profoundly impact your future. 5. Think long-term. It's all too easy to slip back into bad habits, especially when surrounded by social groups that endorse them. Life's pressures, stress, fatigue, sadness, and frustration often drive us to seek escape in these habits. But in reality, we're just masking deeper psychological needs with superficial actions. We attempt to fill emotional voids with trivial things. Whether it's parties, social media, video games, or other forms of entertainment, each person has their own escape. Recognizing this can be the first step in committing to a healthier long-term perspective on our actions and well-being. If you aspire to achieve something meaningful in this life and make a unique contribution with your gifts and talents, adopting a different lifestyle is essential. We must nurture our body, mind, and relationships. This means prioritizing rest, exercise, healthy eating, reading, and reflection, but most importantly, finding ways to serve others. You can't embrace this lifestyle while clinging to bad habits. What bad habits are you ready to release starting today? If you're breaking away from these patterns, leave a comment below and support others facing similar challenges. Remember, choosing to break free from bad habits is a personal decision, one that can transform your life and the lives of those around you. Commit to your transformation and actively choose to be the best version of yourself you can imagine. Ask yourself how dedicated you are to living a meaningful and purposeful life. This isn't just a one-time question, but a prompt you should write down and constantly revisit. Always strive to answer this question honestly. Recognize the significance of your life and the choices you make. Never let anyone convince you that you can't improve or become more than you are now. 6. Perseverance. Cultivating a positive habit sets the stage for forming another and another. It's wise to start with 1 or at most 3 habits, nurturing them until they become a seamless part of your daily routine. Then, you can gradually introduce more. Research indicates that past behavior is a reliable predictor of future actions. This suggests that while established habits are tough to break, the good news is that with unwavering perseverance, your new behaviors will solidify into habits too. Keep at it, and success will follow. Waking up early to engage in productive activities may feel like a struggle initially, but with consistent effort, it will soon become a natural part of your morning ritual. But don't despair. Always begin with the smallest step and incrementally increase the time dedicated to your new habit. Patience and the desire to become a better version of yourself are key. Remember, we become enslaved to the actions we repeat. What starts as a choice eventually turns into a mandate. So choose wisely and tread the path that leads to the best version of yourself.